Hey everybody, so I hope everyone's having a great day today. You might be asking, where's the new podcast episode? So we were both really busy this week, so we didn't get a chance to record a new podcast episode this week. But what I'm gonna do is when I upload our Patreon bonus episode on Friday, I'm going to upload the free episode we did, the first one of those. I'm gonna upload it here. And also, I'm going to upload a little short monologue audio thing I did, which I thought was really funny, about House of the Dragon. I'm going to upload that attached to this video. So stay tuned and watch that. And then we'll be back next week with the first episode of our 2Ks 1 episode podcast on the Full Metal Alchemist 2003 series, which I know some people are very excited about. So yeah, so just stay tuned, check out the audio thing, and then we'll see you next week. Bye.
Dear Daily Doozy, guess who's back? It's been a long time, ever since I was arrested and convicted for punching that mole Santa in that dreaded winter 4 years ago. It was a trying time and a trying place, but such is the price we pay for the dreaded war on Christmas. A war I intend to win, given sufficient time. Afterward, I spent 2 years in a minimum security prison, where I dominated the prison hierarchy like a king. I successfully maneuvered my way to the top through guile, intellect, cunning, intelligence, know-how, street smarts, and of course, several indiscriminate payouts to keep the actually dangerous ones in line. But enough about that. I'm free at last, free to write into my favorite publication once more. And I have a lot to say about what's been happening over the last few years. A global pandemic, war in the Ukraine, economic troubles, among so many other legitimate and pressing issues of the day. Now, on to the most important of them all. What have I been watching on television? I've been hate-watching the new season of that show, House of the Dragon, a sequel to my favorite television series, Game of Thrones, but it completely ruins the ending of Game of Thrones. Back in the day, I cheered when Jon Stewart killed Dany Hears Us Targaryen. Finally, an end to the oppressive and tyrannical liberation that she offered to the world of Westeros. But then, at the beginning of this sequel, Targaryens everywhere! How unthinkable! How unsightly! But despite this massive plot hole, that the Targaryens would return after Jon killed their last surviving heir, the internet remains suspiciously silent. I wonder if maybe the writer of this program, George R. Martin, bribed them, the entire internet. Certainly he's rich enough. I mean, how could anyone like this series? All the ingredients that the original series had in spades are missing. Where are the exposed breasts, the clever jokes about dicks, and of course the bordering on nonsensical English accents? That was what made the show the success that it was. Sure, this Mizaria character has a completely undecipherable accent from God knows where, but it's just not enough. Also, why so many female characters? Wouldn't the show be better without women in it? Imagine the childbirth scenes with men instead. A lot more powerful, wouldn't you say? Much more emotional. I'm brought to tears just thinking about it. Ooh. The main character, Visserman, King Visserman at that, was a real go-getter, a very decisive and powerful king. I was so taken with the scene where he ordered his children to follow his orders, and they did. Or the scene where he was riding his dragon and killed all the crabs with fire, barbecued in their homes, and made lunch for his family. How enterprising and touching. Truly wonderful. The follow-up scene, which was a feast with the whole family feasting on crabs, was a touching emotional moment, determined to showcase the love this family has for one another. Ruined by that man with the eye patch. Using a slur like the word strong in mixed company like that. How offensive. King Viseramon was fuming in his chair at that remark, so angry that he had to be carried out by his attendants before the dance-off began. The dance-off of dragons, as they called it. The dance-off scene was a real delight, though. I couldn't believe the moves that the king's brother, Deniceris, was pulling off. Everyone expected some complex breakdancing moves, but instead he simply leaned against the wall. The realm's delight. Though I do have to say, all these human characters in a show called House of the Dragon, it's kind of false advertising, isn't it? Imagine dragons in the childbirthing scenes. How emotional. Oh, I should mention, this letter had several spoilers in it. Whew! Good thing I remembered. I'd hate to get hate mail from angry fans, excited to watch their favorite show, only to have it spoiled by me. The emotional resonance of the breakdancing scene is completely ruined if you see it coming. And that's my letter for the week. An informative, spoiler-free review of my new favorite show. Join me in the next unsolicited letter, where I will go over what you may be overlooking. Seth.